Welcome back to All Things Outdoors Ohio. Today I'm going to cover a video of a question that I got asked recently. And the question was, what baits do you throw during a certain time of the day? I actually really think that's a really good question. This particular person is an upcoming fisherman and he doesn't really know when to throw baits. And I thought it was a really good subject to cover. So in this video I'm just going to cover morning time, midday, and evening with the baits I like to use and the baits I think that are the best and give you the best opportunity to catch bass. So to start, obviously you have the morning. Morning time, I like to use topwater baits, buzz baits, pawpars, frogs, spooks, baits like that. My particular favorite is the buzz bait. I really love the buzz bait. I really like the action on them. It's just really fun to throw, in my opinion. When you're throwing this, you really want to stick to some cover, so like the wood or grass lines and rocks. You really like to cover water in the mornings, and top water is a great opportunity to do that. If you got mats or pads, a frog is perfect for skimming right on top. But I really like to throw the buzz bait. I keep them along the wood, and grass lines. It has really great action, like I said, and it's just fun to watch bass blow up on a buzz bait. So moving into midday, bass start to move deeper, the water gets warmer, and bass tend to get away and go down deep, like I said. So some good baits to use would be like a deep diving crank. You can get down there really deep with them. Obviously if it's grassy, it's not going to be your best option, but these deep divers really get down to the bass. Also, you could throw a weighted curltail worm. I tend to like these long curltail worms, actually. Just a simple Texas rig, and you can throw a weighted sinker on that to get down to them. It's the same way you can throw a Cinco, as I've showed before. Same way, Texas rig. Throw your bullet weight on there to get down deeper to them. Some tips to fish midday. Like I said, the fish go deep, so aim deep. Use your weighted baits. Texas rig with the weight would be perfect. Your deep divers, your crankbaits, stuff like that, just to try to get down deep where they are and hiding down in that deeper water. So headed into the evening time, I really like to throw chatter baits, jigs, spinner baits, and finish with buzz baits. So a chatterbait's really easy. It's like a spinner bait, but with noise pretty much. Obviously, you need to find a good trailer for it. Usually, creature baits are good trailers, or you can actually get a certain type of trailer. But flukes, that's another good example. They can be pretty good trailers as well. But I like starting with a chatterbait, covering water, seeing if the bass are starting to move up and hit some of their baits and some of the smaller fish. And then I can also throw a jig. Maybe they want something a little slower, so I'll throw this more towards the bank, around wood, stuff like that. You'll need a good trailer for these as well, but I actually really like this jig. I've thrown this jig a lot. I've used it on beds as well, but after the chatterbait, I'll go with the jig. And since bass are starting to move up when it's cooler temperatures and the sun goes down, I'll also throw a spinner bait. They may not want all the noise and all the fanciness, so I'll just come back to this, the spinner bait. It's always a go-to. It's always a good bait to use. So I'll stick to that. And then finally, as the sun goes down and it's becoming dark, I'll go back to my buzz bait. I love the buzz bait. Like I said, I just love watching bass hit the buzz bait on top. I mean, it's, like I said, definitely one of my favorite baits to use. Good action. It's fun to throw. Obviously, keep it along the bank in the evenings as well. Bass, like I said, bass are starting to move up to get those bait fish. So that's, in my opinion, what I would use. So to cover that, again, in the morning, I stick with my topwater baits. If there's cover on the water, so moss or lily pads or something like that, I'll throw the frog. If not, I'll go my buzz bait. If they don't want anything quick, or if they're not under the pads, pawpars would be good. You just hit that a couple times, slow it down a little bit, make a pop in the water. That's another good bait you could use in the morning. Midday, bass go deeper, so you use some worms, some plastics. I like to use Texas rigs, throw those on there, and then throw your weighted bullet weight on the Texas rig to get down deeper. And you also have your deep diving cranks that you could use as well. And then finally in the evening, I'll start with the old chatterbait, see if they're moved up and biting bait fish yet. Then I'll go to the jig and slow it down a little bit, kind of put it right in front of them, see if they want that. And I'll obviously toss the spinnerbait a little bit. You can throw the spinnerbait pretty much any time of the day, honestly, but I'll throw that kind of later towards the evening, so about 4, 5, 6, around that time. And then when the sun goes down and the water's getting darker, buzzbait time. That, like I said, that action, I love it. Buzzbait's one of my favorite baits to throw. So I hope this video could help you with what baits to throw during what time of the day. Like I said, I got this question earlier this week, and I think it's actually a really good question. So I hope that my select few baits could help you during the time. And if you enjoyed, as always, please leave a like, subscribe. I really appreciate it. And thanks for watching.